If you watch the Cajun Cardboard channel, I want you to consider using the PWCC Marketplace. It's a great place to buy sports cards, and you can even support the channel through my affiliate link, which is conveniently located in the YouTube description to this very video you're about to watch. Pause the video, get into the YouTube description, look in the top right of the channel, and you're going to see a link to PWCC. Save that link in your browser, and now you are able to buy sports cards on the PWCC Marketplace just like I do, and at the same time support the Cajun Cardboard channel. Hey guys, Brian with Cajun Cardboard coming at you from the great state of Louisiana, and today's video is really more of a self-education video that I've been putting off for too long. I've kind of danced around the topic of the 1997 Stadium Club Triumvirate set. It's a little convoluted, it's a little unique. We're going to talk today in about 15 minutes. I'm going to give you a quick rundown of some great data and some great information provided by a really big Jordan collector, Bench Mob Chicago, on Instagram. If you're not following him, go follow him on Instagram. He did give me permission to share this post from his Instagram feed and make this video to hopefully kind of educate myself and sort of educate everybody else who's watching who may be new to the 1997 Stadium Club Triumvirate trio of cards. It's really two trios of cards, so six. It's really more than that because there's a members only. So it gets a little more complicated as you take a little bit deeper dive. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start with his Instagram post. We're going to work through that Instagram post top to bottom. I'm going to show some pictures on Card Ladder of what the different variations are and what they look like, and the textures and the refractor nature of each of these cards. We're going to talk a little bit about the labels. We're going to talk about the pack odds and the rarity. Then we're going to look at the PSA pop report and how that's broken down. We're going to look at trading card database. Then we're going to look at Beckett's pop report and note some of the unique differences between how these cards are labeled. These cards are oftentimes mislabeled, so be very, very wary if you're buying these cards based on even what the PSA or the Beckett label say, because sometimes they don't match up and they have the wrong variation, or they leave a word out, and even the pop reports don't match up between the two companies. So it is a very interesting comparison. So let's get cranking. Here's what we're talking about. We're going to talk only about the T1B. I'm going to zoom in a little. That's what the cards look like, okay? So you'll see it's a three-part set that comes out of 1997 Stadium Club. You'll see the T1B is in Series 1. This is what they call the hardwood background. You'll see, that's what she said, Scottie Pippen, Jordan, Rodman, they actually fit together. Obviously, they're not going to fit together if you've got them slab, but they're still going to look real cool, as you can see on your screen from this post by Bench Mob Chicago. Those pieces actually are intricately die cut so that they fit together like pieces of wood in a hardwood floor, and it forms the name Bulls in the background. And of course, those were the big three from that 1997 season. So what you're looking at on your screen is a picture of the luminous variation, but it's the members only luminous variation. So don't get distracted. Let's just go through his post and kind of talk through it. I'm not going to talk too much about that. I want to go right here. One of the most misunderstood, I'm reading verbatim, one of the most misunderstood insert sets of the 90s. Yes, fact, I've put it off forever. The 1997 Stadium Club Triumvirate cards, Series 1 only. We're not talking about Series 2, T9B. That's a whole different trio. We're talking about just the hardwood background, Series 1, card number T1B, because Jordan is in the middle, A, Pippen, B, Jordan, C, Rodman. T1B is what we're talking about today. It's an amazing set featuring 4 different parallel levels. It's called Triumvirate. So you're thinking to yourself, I went to grade school, I went to high school. Even in Louisiana, we know tri means 3, but there are actually 4 different parallels of this particular insert, and we're going to talk through those today. Randomly inserted in Series 1 retail packs, remember that. These laser cut cards, all 3 are die cut, right? All 4 parallels, I'm sorry, all 4 variations of T1B, every single one is die cut, every single one is hardwood background. These laser cut cards feature 3 NBA teammates that can be fused together to form a trio with the team name behind them. We just saw the Bulls. The Series 2 Triumvirate inserts feature a trio of Conference All-Stars, so that's different. It's not going to be Pippen, Jordan. It's going to be Pippen and then 2 other Conference All-Stars. Those will piece together. We are not talking about those today. That is the Series 2. That is T9B. Not talking about that variation. So let's talk about the particular variations. Number 1, the Luminous. This is what I would call the base, okay? This is the Triumvirate Luminous. It is the most common parallel version, featured a foil finish on the front and a matte finish on the back. I want to show you the card. That is it. Okay, now look at the Beckett label. Notice anything that's missing. The word luminous is missing, and it should not be missing because this is the name of the insert variation. It should be called the 1997-98 Stadium Club Triumvirate Luminous T1B, but they leave the word luminous out. So you do not see the word luminous appear on this particular card, but this is the luminous base variation, okay? The second variation, Luminous has a members only variation. The next 2 do not, only the Luminous base. Topps also produced a members only version of the Luminous set that featured the same exact card, but with the members only text faintly, yes, very faintly, printed diagonally across the front of each card. If you don't look closely, you'll miss it. This is the exact same Luminous, only it's the members only parallel of the Luminous, okay? So when you zoom in, let's see if I can get in a little bit closer here. No, I can't. Okay, that's what we got. If you look at the bulls, look at the letter L in the background, you'll see members only running right there diagonally left to right. You can barely see it on the hardwood, but you can definitely see it on the white lettering. It is very faintly printed, but look at this label. What the hell is happening here? 1997-98 Stadium Club members only. They got that part right. They don't state triumvirate. You don't see the word triumvirate anywhere. You don't see the word luminous anywhere. So what the hell are you even looking at? And this is what has led to confusion in the hobby. And this is why I've kind of put this thing off, because if Beckett and PSA can't get it right, how the hell is some dumbass from Baton Rouge, Louisiana going to get it right? But I think we're going to figure it out today, and we're all going to get on the same page. So this is parallel number 2. There's the luminous, then there's the luminous members only. Every other aspect of the card, luminous and luminous members only, should look the same except for the diagonal writing. Okay, let's get back to Bench Mob Chicago's post and let's talk about the next one. Number 3, the third parallel for the T1B. It says the rarer version, and let's be clear, the luminous, not the members only, but the luminous for the Jordan is 1 in 1,152 pack odds. So even the base insert is extremely tough pack odds, 4-figure pack odds. It's a card that we looked at in, I believe, tier 3 of the MJ hierarchy. In the pack odds for the luminous base version is 1 in 1,152. The next version is the luminescent. So this is the third, right? Because the members only luminous was number 2. So the third parallel of this T1B insert is the luminescent, the rarer version. This one is pack odds of 1 in 4,608 for Jordan. Remember, when we're talking about pack odds for Jordan, we're going to multiply the pack odds for the insert by the number of players in that particular series that the insert appears, and voila, you have a simple multiplication result. I think that's called a sum. Actually, I think it's called a product, and the product is 1 in 4,608 pack odds. So the luminescent is 1 in 4,608. So almost 4 times, well, 4 times as rare as the luminous base version. This parallel has the most visual pop, according to Bench Mob Chicago, as it features a refractor finish on the front and the same matte back as the other luminous versions. So let's go to it. This is the luminescent 1 in 4,608 pack odds. You can't really tell. It is labeled correctly. Thank you, Beckett. But it is a refractor front with a matte back finish. So that's the middle version, I will call it, right? It's the third parallel, the luminescent 1 in 4,608 pack odds. The last one is the Illuminator, and this is where shit gets wild. This is very rare. This is a very rare card. This is why in the MJ hierarchy, I believe this card appeared in real early in tier 3, whereas the other 2 cards were in tier 4. But the Illuminator, and again, the reason it's in tier 3 and not in tier 2 with such crazy pack odds as 1 in 9,216 is simply because there are other variations of it. And so for that reason, it kind of dipped down Could an argument be made that the illuminator alone belongs in tier 2? Of course, but there can also be an argument that it's the luminescent that is the most highly sought after, because despite the fact that it has half as difficult pack odds, it's better looking based on appearance, according to many people in the Jordan world. So I think some of the confusion around these 4 parallels is what kind of led me to drop this down a little bit in the MJ Cajun Cardboard MJ hierarchy, because it's just, I think people put it off. I put it off, and I'm about as aggressive a Jordan collector as there is out there, simply because there was other simpler, more attainable, more understandable, digestible inserts and parallels out there to chase, to be quite honest with you. But it's time for me to do my due diligence and get to the bottom of it. So this Illuminator, the 4th parallel, is the most rare, 1 in 92 16 pack odds. Rumored to have a print run of only 70. We're going to revisit that, Bench Mob Chicago, but we're going to look at it, and there is possible that that could be correct. This version is printed on a brown transparent acetate. And then Bench Mob goes on to say, let's show the card first. So there is the Triumvirate Illuminator version. So that card to me looks exactly like this card. I don't care what anybody says or how many ways you can say it. They look like exactly the same card to me. One of them is the Illuminator, and it might just be taking 2D images is not a perfect science. It's also quite possible this could just be a BGS mislabeled card, which is also a possibility. But there's your 4 versions. The Luminous, which is mislabeled and just says Triumvirate. The Luminous members only, where you can see the words, right? That's an easy one to distinguish. And there is no members only version of the Luminescent and the Illuminator. That is something important to remember. If you see members only running across your card, you do not have a Luminescent, you do not have an Illuminator, you only have a Luminous. And again, we're only talking about the T1B. This is the 3rd parallel. It's the Triumvirate Luminescent, which we said was a refractor front, matte back finish. And then lastly is the Triumvirate Illuminator, which Bench Mob Chicago correctly points out is a brown transparent acetate see-through card. You can see your hand on the back of the card. Not only was this set a tough pull, but it's extremely condition sensitive. That's true because it's an intricate laser cut design. We saw a very famous post by the great Nat Turner where he had one that looked like a PSA 10, but it was missing a whole chunk of paper. And so any variation is very collectible for these cards. I certainly agree with that. And that's a great explanation right there by Bench Mob Chicago. So let's look at a couple of things. First, let's go verify these pack odds. And here they are. Trading Card Database, TCDB. A lot of people have been messaging me about where I find my pack odds. This is one of the places, right? There's a couple of websites. There's TCDB. There's Beckett. There's actual Beckett magazines from the old days. There's Frankie, who I ask, Frankie 3500, who has a lot of those Becketts at his disposal in his hands. And then, of course, you can look at the wrappers if you've got the actual wrappers from the card, the packs of these cards came out of. But you can see Trading Card Database in 97-98 Stadium Club. It's got, in reverse order, we'll start at the bottom here. It's got the Triumvirate Luminous, and it says 1 in 48 Series 1 packs. You multiply that by the number of cards in the series, you get the Jordan pack odds of 1 in 1,152. The cards are die cut with a dark chrome finish on the front for both the Series 1 and the Series 2. Okay, so we're, again, only talking about Series 1. The Luminescent is the next one. Same drill. Cards are die cut with a bright chrome refractor finish on the front for both Series 1 and Series 2. And then lastly, the crazy Illuminator with 1 in 384 Series 1 pack odds. You got to multiply that to get the 9,216. And again, you're not just multiplying it by the number of cards because there's 3 per number. So 1 is 3 and 2 is 3 more, and 3 because there's 3 players with that insert number. So if we click on here and let's just go to Luminous, boom, and we look at it, you'll see there's 1, 1, and 1. And so Series 1 is not just 8, it is 24, right? So you add them all up, it's 24. It's 8 times 3 is 24 times the pack odds, and that's how you get the Jordan pack odds, because it's really 24 players that you could pull, not 8, even though it is numbered to 8. I hope that makes a little bit of sense. So that's how Trading Card Database can help us out. If we move along here, I want to show you the PSA Pop Report and the Beckett Pop Report and how they're different, okay? So I've got PSA Pop Report, and you can see I've searched 1997 Stadium Club Triumvirate. And then I typed in Jordan up here in the name search, and of course it's going to pull up the T9B. I love it that PSA puts T1B in its entirety at the top, and then you get to the T9B, okay? We'll see something a little bit different from Beckett, and the PSA Pop Report is definitely more digestible, more accurate in my personal opinion, although I will note there is one error. So the base is right here. You can't miss it. This is the Luminous. There's 172 graded by PSA, 67 have gotten a PSA 10. Simple, no problem. We know what the Luminous looks like. It's right there. We've seen it. We get it. Okay. Then it says members only, but it makes no designation of which parallel it is. Now, after this video, you guys know there is only one members only of the T1B, and it is the Luminous version. So it should theoretically say Luminous members only, but it doesn't. But now we know it should. Okay. So PSA, go fix that. It should say Luminous members only. You can see 35 graded, about 1/5 as many graded members only, about a little bit less than 1/3 as many PSA 10s. And so you're talking about a significantly more rare, more difficult card, and probably a more valuable version than the T1B Luminous non-members only. Okay, so that was parallel 2 right there coming across your screen. Then they've got the Luminescent, no surprise there. That's even more rare than the Luminous. We knew it would be. It's much more rare. It's about 1/4 as rare. And then the Illuminator, which Benchmark Chicago avers, has approximately a print run of 70, and others have said similar things. It looks like 22 have been graded by PSA, 7 have gotten a 10. Again, much more rare than the base Luminous version, and we knew that because the pack odds were 1 in 9,216. Big boy pack odds. Okay, now it looks like PSA's close. The only thing that they missed was the word Luminous before members only. Let's go to Beckett, and this is where all hell breaks loose. So I've got 97-98 Stadium Club Triumvirate pulled up. They love to sort of mix and match here, and it doesn't go in rarity order. It doesn't go in any order. So the first row right here, up here at the top, where there's 150 graded by Beckett, that is the Luminous base T1B. Okay, right under that, they have the T9B Luminous base. So unfortunately, it's very frustrating and very confusing, but they do have the Luminous base there. And then they, for some reason, put the Illuminator, the most rare version, next. Makes no sense. I guess they're doing it alphabetically. That's just my hunch. They do T1B first. So they've graded 40. So remember, we said that there was about 70 of them in existence. 40 have been graded by Beckett, and then 22 have been graded by PSA, so that's 62. So if there's about 70 of them, for 62 of them to have been graded, it makes me think there might be a little bit more than 70, but what's the one thing that everybody who's listening to me right now is gonna say? Cajun Cardboard. Cajun Cardboard, you need to remember there's cracks and resubs, and nobody's gonna switch those labels, and then there's crossovers. I know, so it might be 70. I don't know, guys. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think that the print run of these Illuminators is about 70? It might be. How many of the 62 graded between Beckett and PSA do you think are cracking resubs or cracking crosses or just crosses? You guys need to let me know in the comments. But if we keep going down, you'll see here is the Triumvirate Luminescent. So that's the middle version, and there's been about 59 of those graded. Only one black label Triumvirate up here. That's pretty cool. Would it be cool to have a black label of that Triumvirate base? Now, what's the one thing that you notice that we're missing here, right? What are we missing? What is the Beckett Pop Report missing? If you remember, we looked at PSA and look how many categories of T1B, and we just learned how many parallels there were of the Stadium Club Triumvirate. How many are there? There's 4, right? There's the members only Luminous. Where is it on Beckett? It's not there. T1B, T1B, T1B. No distinction between the Stadium Club Luminous, again, they left the word out too, Triumvirate, and the Stadium Club Luminous Triumvirate members only. So I am assuming that those members only have been lumped into there. Let me know if I'm wrong. If there's another separate members only Beckett pop report out there, let me know. Maybe I missed it. Maybe I just couldn't get it to pull up. To be quite honest with you, just getting this to pull up in Beckett is a pain in the ass. I don't like the Beckett pop reports at all. I really like the PSA stuff. It's just easier to digest and understand. But that is it, guys. So thank you so much to Benchmob Chicago for his original post on Instagram. That's what led me to making this video. I do apologize I put it off so long. It is a card that we talk about in the Cajun Cardboard Michael Jordan Hierarchy Project, and it is an important card, and it's a card that that definitely has meaning. And if you're one of these people like Benchmob Chicago who's lucky enough to put together the members only set in all PSA 9s of the Luminous T1B parallel, that is impressive, man. That is about as badass as it gets. And you can see set collectors are gonna just fiend over this, and they're gonna fawn over this. That's a great looking picture right there that he got to share with the world on his Instagram account. So Again, thank you to Benchmob Chicago. Thank you to Card Ladder for the pictures from the sales history. Thank you to the PSA and BGS for your pop reports. Collecting would be very difficult to do without pop reports. Thank you to TCBA TCDB Trading Card Database for all the pack out information and card descriptions and things like that. And then thank you to whoever put together this Michael Jordan card hierarchy project, because you got all the pack odds for all of these Jordan cards that you see on your screen, which is going to be on the back of a poster at some point in the near future. No, I'm just kidding. That's me. So again, I appreciate you guys watching. This may not be infallible. This could have errors in it. If I got something wrong or misstated something, either A, I misstated something, or B, I talked too fast, or C, I just learned it myself. So there's quite a possibility that something got lost in translation. Things to remember, all three of T1B are die cut. There are 4 different parallels if you include the members only. Only the Luminous has members only, and then oftentimes PSA and BGS labels are incorrect. Those are the things to remember. And I guess another thing to remember is the Illuminator is rare as hell. So those are some of the highlights to remember. Thank you guys for watching as always. I hope this video was educational and entertaining and a little bit helpful. I don't own one of these cards, so I have no dog in this hunt. I'm certainly not making this video to run the price of these cards up because I still have yet to attain these cards. And that is something that probably goes for every video that I make. I am not trying to chase cards up to sell them because I very rarely sell cards, and I never sell Michael Jordan cards, or at least it has been a very long time. I am going in the other direction quite certainly and quite obviously, as you can see from my mail days. So again, take it for what it's worth. Hopefully the video helped. Thank you guys for watching. Keep collecting, stay positive in the hobby, and peace.